Hi, friends. How are you? Welcome to this week's edition of my favorite time of the week here. Ask Me Anything. Okay, why am I making it sound like I'm a game show host? Ask me anything. I have no idea. Okay, let's dive in. As an explanation of what we do every single week here is you ask questions and I will answer them. I answer questions in two ways: questions that have been pre-asked on Facebook and questions that come in live. So if you're ready to get this party started, so am I. Great. Maria Basserman asks, should I use my personal Facebook page or a business page to promote my business? My own page reaches more people, but they are mostly friends and relatives. Also, I think it's not obvious that I'm trying to promote my photography as opposed to just sharing my life when I'm using my personal page. Okay, so anybody who, like Maria, is like, should I use my business Facebook page or my personal Facebook page? Let's just cut straight to the chase. Is that Facebook has explicitly stated you can't use your personal account to sell things. So you'll know where I'm going to fall on that. You really don't want to piss off Mark Zuckerberg. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to compromise your personal account for selling on it. So that's it from the technical perspective. But like Maria had mentioned, she's like, I just don't know if people know how to understand that I'm trying to sell something. Well, that's because the way as humans react on social media is that you want to be in a platform and know what to expect to see there. So if somebody follows your Facebook fan page, they know you're going to be talking about your business, your service, your product, things that you produce, and not updating your vacation photos from Cabo. So that in and of itself, we have the rules, we have the ideology why somebody's there, but now let's just get really personal because social media should be one thing: social. I have come to believe that you should speak to family like family, and you should speak to customers like friends. As you use your personal Facebook page, those conversations are going to be really different, right? You're going to be talking and, talking about your sports teams and talking trash and looking at old high school photos that people have popped into your timeline. You speak to your family like you're your family, and you speak to customers like they're friends. You're a little bit more cautious. You think more of them. You listen more than you speak. You offer value, and you're also unafraid to talk about your product or your service. When that happens on your personal page, I mean, seriously, if you're here, how many times have you been on your personal Facebook and then you see somebody selling something all the time from their personal account and you're like, oh no, not this person again. They're not going to sell me their diet plan again. They're not going to sell me their shake again. Like, have you ever experienced that? If you have, just let me know. Let me know right here in the comments. You can either give me a little thumbs up because maybe it's just me. Like, when I follow a Facebook fan page, it's because I want to know more or hear more about the business. If we're friends on Facebook, I don't want you always selling me something. Maybe I'm just alone. Can I get a witness? Can I get a cosign? Let's get into the next question. Tasha Monique, how do you find the hashtags on Instagram that you want to reach your dream clients? I love talking about hashtags. Now, I've always said that hashtags are micro search engines on Instagram. So think of it as like a little tiny Google on the inside of Instagram. So just in case you're looking for something specific, you can use that hashtag. And this is so highly effective to get your Instagram account noticed by other people who don't follow you, but they might follow a hashtag or they might be searching through a hashtag. So my advice is to break up your hashtags. You can use up to 30 hashtags. You don't have to use all 30, but you could use all 30. And so I've always recommended the following 5 types of hashtags you should be including: searchable terms, location searches, geographic searches, industry searches, and hashtag size. Okay, so what are we actually going to be focusing on? What is a searchable term for a hashtag? Well, it could be if you're looking for hashtag cupcake recipes. This is when somebody goes to Instagram and they know exactly what they're searching for. What's a location search? Well, maybe you're looking for a cupcake bakery in your neck of the woods. That's a location search. So out here in Orange County, we have this outdoor mall and it's called Irvine Spectrum. And if I was looking for cupcakes at the Irvine Spectrum, I can go to hashtag Irvine Spectrum and look at the restaurants there. I can find things based on a particular location, which is different than a geographic search. A geographic search is not a location, it's a town, it's a city, it's a state. This could be hashtag Irvine Bakery, Irvine Cupcakes. So location is a place like Disneyland, Angels Stadium, the Queen Mary. A geographic search could be Anaheim, Long Beach, California. Now we have industry related searches. So if I was a baker and I make cupcakes and I want to know other bakers who are making cupcakes, then I could search like Los Angeles baker, right? Or like Bakeries Are Us. We're looking for things that are related to things in our industry. And lastly, I consider hashtag size. Hashtag size is you have this temptation to use hashtags that are really big, right? Because you're like, oh, the bigger the hashtag, the more people are going to see me. But the bigger the hashtag, that means that so many posts are being updated that your post gets lost immediately in the hashtag. I strongly recommend using hashtags that are less than 350 to 400,000 entries. That gives you a lot of eyes on it, but not, millions of entries and posts that are being updated so that you quickly get lost. Now, one of the things, so if you go to Facebook and you look at this particular post, I go out every Tuesday on Facebook and I'm like, hey guys, leave your questions here so that I can answer your questions. Now, I want to show you exactly what happened in my feed. So let's go back to Tasha Monique. She said, how do you find the right hashtags? And then Candace pops in and she says, in case it doesn't get covered on the Facebook Live, issue number 4 was super helpful in describing the process. And Tasha Monique's like, what are you talking about? And then Jennifer says, Candace is referencing issue 4 of Social Curators, Jasmine's membership group. It was all about finding hashtags for your business. If you are part of Social Curators and don't have that issue, you have the ability to purchase past issues. I hope that helps. So one, shout out to Candace and Jennifer for really embodying what it means to be a social curator. I create in-depth concepts. So yes, I just told Tasha Monique how to find the best hashtags for her clients. But on the inside of Social Curator, I have a whole marketing issue dedicated to how do you find them? How do you search for them? What's the exact makeup? Like I could literally spend 2 hours talking about that, but since I'm only here for like 22 minutes, I gave you the brief overview to get started. But if you'd like a little bit of extra help, just like Candace and Jennifer said, Social Curator, baby boo, socialcurator.com. Okay, let's get into Frankie. Any thoughts on Instagram testing and taking away the like feature? Okay, so this has been a really popular topic because about 2 months ago, Instagram tested, believe it started in Canada. On the eastern front of Canada, they started removing the ability for people to see how many likes a photo has. Now, if you have your Instagram account, you could see how many likes you have, but other people can't see how many likes you have. And so I started doing a lot of research and reading why this was happening. And a general consensus from people who are weighing in on the matter is that Instagram started noticing that people weren't using the platform to document their lives or share cool things. People were using the platform to become popular. And in order for people to become popular, they were doing these wild and crazy tactics that were compromising some people. There was these kids who were doing pranks. There were people who were doing that blindfold challenge, like driving with the blindfold. And those videos would go viral and they get all these likes. And Instagram was like, whoa, we might become responsible for perpetuating a really dangerous behavior. So what they decided to do is they started to test how will engagement be affected if our likes are removed. So they tested it in Canada, and I read this article, I heard this news report on NPR about how they had an influencer, they had a business owner, they had just like a regular average user. She was a mom, she had 3 kids. They did 5 different profiles, and all 5 people had said, including the influencer whose career is built on Instagram, she's like, I just loved it. It just took all the pressure off creating content and then looking at that as a constant reminder of whether or not it was good or not. And so then as of last week, they started unfolding it in Australia and New Zealand, and people were DMing me from the other side of the world, and they're like, what do you think about this? And I am really excited about it. I think it's an absolutely positive move on the behalf of Instagram, and the early responses are that people are liking the non-liking. Yes. Now, here's the thing. It, number one, has not been rolled out 100%. And number two, if they do rule it out 100% and Instagram notices that people are not using the platform or on the platform as much anymore, they're going to bring the lights back. Like, Instagram is in the nature of testing to see what happens. But they also started noticing that people were posting on Instagram, and then if a photo didn't get a lot of likes, the owner of that post would delete that post, because they were worried that they would have this post that didn't do anything, and they're like, oh, how is that going to make my account look? Oh, this post wasn't good. I wasn't cute enough. I wasn't funny enough. I wasn't witty enough. I wasn't interesting enough. So they're removing content, and Instagram's noticing, like, dude, when you're removing content, you're disrupting the algorithm and you're ruining an experience. So now what they're testing is, are people going to have a better experience as a result of the likes? So let me know. What do you guys think? I'm so interested. Are you guys looking forward to them removing the likes? If not, I want to know why. I actually had somebody DM me and she was like, I just can't wait for the day that Instagram doesn't show how many followers you have. And I was like, I don't ever know if they're going to do that. But then I was listening to a Gary Vaynerchuk podcast yesterday, and he said, it would be really amazing to have Instagram not show how many followers you have and how many likes you have, because then people would be producing content on merit. Like, they would just be speaking their truth and not worried about how popular that post is going to be. And I was like, I think it's pretty interesting. If Instagram didn't show how many followers you would have, I'd be like, heck yes, I'd clap that up too. So we'll see what they're doing, but please know I am watching like a hawk. Let's get into a couple live questions that are coming in. Charity had asked, I'm a photographer specializing in high school seniors. I don't have enough new content to post, but want to showcase seniors. What are your thoughts on not having new content? Fake it until I make it and let it go and get more personal? Should I be careful for how much of the same girl that I post? Okay, so Charity and anybody else who's watching who's like, I don't have a lot of content. Well, number one, you will always hear me say, make content when you don't have it. Now, for Charity, that could mean that she maybe has to do 2 or 3 free photo sessions of high school seniors to make sure that her portfolio online is staying fresh. It could be Charity can just go back into her archives of other high school seniors that she's photographed, and maybe she hasn't shared it in a couple months. Hey, revive some of your old content if you really like it and post it again. Why? Let's talk about math and statistics when it comes to Instagram. Is that only a small group of your followers, statistically, it's between 4 and 6%. You post something on Instagram and only 4 to 6% of all of your followers are going to see that post. Which means, Charity, if you have a photo session and you really liked 10 photos, just spread out those 10 photos over a couple months, because there's a good chance that a large part of your audience never saw the first 2 photos that you posted from that photo session. Hope that helps. Okay, let's go into another one of our questions, and this is from Kelsey. My engagement has dropped big time. I use hashtags in a comment and not the post. I'm still posting content like I have since the Social Curator Challenge this year. I am being consistent. I am using my stories and getting lots of views, but no engagement. What am I doing wrong? Okay, Kelsey, and anybody else who's noticed that your engagement has dropped. Well, I have some news for you. Is that the algorithm change is affecting everybody. Everybody across the board has seen their engagement drop. Everybody, from people with millions of followers to social media influencers, to business owners, to just your regular mom and pop using Instagram. It's happening to everyone. So while there's this temptation to say, oh man, look what's happening to me, maybe you could take some solace in saying it's happening to everyone and you're not alone. So my advice to anybody who's feeling the pressure to continuously show up on Instagram without having the likes and without having the comments. My advice has been the exact same since I started talking and sharing about Instagram. Back in the day, 2015, I have been saying the same dang thing. And the same dang thing is that consistency is key. On the inside of Social Curator, I have a private Facebook group, And people are asking, oh, if you read Mark Zuckerberg's letter after the F8 summit, they're saying that the algorithm change on Instagram is going to be it's going to be weighing higher people who archive your Instagram post, where they use that little ribbon on the right-hand side, or they send that post to a friend, shareable content. So the algorithm is now indexing for people saving your posts and sending your posts. And so this girl came on Social Curator and she's like, what are your ideas for having savable and shareable content? And people were giving her advice, which I loved, but then I also went in and I was like, yo, time out. Let's be real quick. It doesn't matter how the algorithm changes. If you have good content, people should be liking. If you have good content, people should be commenting. If you have good content, people should be sharing. Your objective is to be consistent, and your objective is to create posts that your dream customer wants to see. And then another girl in the group, she came in and she says, Jasmine, I know I have a lot to say. I know my content is good, but nobody's responding. And then I responded, the algorithm don't lie. You could say your content is good, and I could say your content is good. But if your customers are not engaging with it, the market dictates what's good. So it's not like your content isn't good. You might just have to reframe how you're presenting the content because it's not landing with your audience. If you're saying, Jasmine, it's just not working for me, the algorithm's out to get me. No, it's not. The algorithm could be your very best friend if you put out a good piece of content. The algorithm starts off in a meritocracy. The best stuff gets the most seen. But then it turns into a democracy. We all vote on what we think is good. That's just it. Like literally, let's just say the algorithm is rigged. And let's just say Mark Zuckerberg comes down from Palo Alto and says, you know what, this Jasmine Star girl, I really like her. I'm going to rig the algorithm. So not 4% of people see her posts. I'm going to rig the algorithm so 40% of people see her posts. People could say, wow, Jasmine, you have it made. No, I don't. Because if more people see my post and they do not engage, my post goes nowhere. You have the opportunity to see and have your post seen, and then your people vote on it. This is like freaking American Idol on Instagram. Guess what, baby boo? You don't get the votes, your posts don't get seen. It is not about the algorithm. It is about how your followers are engaging. And I just want to go back and repeat, you are not alone. I too have seen the algorithm drop. Does it stink? Yeah. But if it's happening to everybody, I'm not a special snowflake. So now you have the option and I have the option to rise to the occasion and say, not today, Instagram, not today. I'm going to do me. I'm going to keep on showing up speaking my truth. I'm going to keep on showing up creating valuable content. I'm going to keep on showing up. Why? Because you're giving me a free platform to meet people. You're giving me a free platform for me to stand with a megaphone and talk about my business. Will my megaphone be reaching as many people as I would like? No. But guess what? Am I paying for the megaphone? No. Whoa. What happened there? I legitimately got expert level attitude. My shoulders came up, got a little head bob. Not today, Instagram. Not today. I think I need to take a little bit of a breather. You know what I'm saying? People are like, whoa, girl, you need to chill. Listen, look at how big my earrings are. I always tell my husband, listen, the size of my earrings match the attitude I will have that day. So I am straight showing up, J-Lo, attitude. There it is. My love don't cost a thing. Okay. Let's go. Christina said, when you film what you're doing right now, is that natural lighting in your room, or do you lighten the view of you? It looks so crisp and beautiful and lighting. My videos look dark and dreary. I know who I am. I'm a girl from the hood who has great taste. I didn't have money. I was a squirrel trying to get a nut. I was trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. What you see me going right now, I'm sitting in front of a window. This is 100% natural light. Man, I don't know. What is going on with my hair? Can somebody send a prayer about my hair? Because it's just like my hair needs a prayer today. So I'm just sitting in natural light. What you see in front of me is just a window. And then I have a window right over here. and this is just my living room, so this is how I roll. Anytime I go live, all I do is sit in front of a window. I go live on Instagram every Tuesday. Check it out. I go live on Facebook every Wednesday. And what do? I sit or I stand in front of a window. It's ghetto fabulous, and I don't care. Anna says, I do marketing for a tree service company, and I feel like I don't actually have an ideal client. I'm trying to market to families instead of just other guys with chainsaws. Any advice? Okay, here we go. Your customer isn't somebody who is like waking up every day and is like, I'm out there to find the best tree trimmer in all of Minnesota. No, your dream customer is somebody who realizes that their neighbor came over to complain about their tree being in their backyard. This is a real story. 3 years ago, JD and I moved into this house and we redid it. We gutted the house. It's like an old home. It's tiny and it's old, but we gutted it and we made it our own. And our neighbors were friendly up until like 2 months. And they're like, your tree is coming over in our backyard. And I looked over and y'all, I was like a leaf. I was like, yo, okay. But we're trying to be neighborly. And so I did not go to Instagram in search of tree trimming, but I was on my phone Googling tree trimming, Newport Beach, gardeners, Newport Beach. And wouldn't you know, I started seeing ads on Facebook and Instagram for the thing that I was searching for. Wouldn't you know that when I went to YouTube, there were pre-roll ads. So Google owns YouTube. So if you search for something in Google, people can run ads against your search, which happened to me. I go to Google, I start looking for Newport Beach tree trimmers, whatever, gardeners, and then I go on YouTube and I'm looking at some random video that has nothing to do with tree trimming. And why do I see a pre-roll ad for tree trimming? This, my friends, is about creating consistent content, about having a funnel, about understanding that your customer, specifically in the tree trimming business, isn't somebody like, I wake up and I dream about following a tree trimmer. It's about creating enough content like me so that when I had to go and choose between tree trimmers, I, yes, checked out their Yelp reviews. I, yes, saw if they were on Instagram. I, yes, went to their Facebook pages. This is what millennials do now. Now, people are watching this and be like, Jasmine, you ain't no millennial. Yes, I am. I'm on the cusp. Okay. Either way, even if I'm technically or not technically, even though I am, I map behaviors the way that millennials are shopping. We want to see businesses and how they show up and how they're represented online. So show up just like that. Okay. Natalie Grounds. How much should you pay to boost a post? I've been doing $10 over 4 days and I don't get much reaction, but I'm afraid to pay too much more. I target to people who've already liked my page. Okay, Natalie, it really depends on what you're selling. Do I think that people should just randomly across the board be boosting their posts? I love you. Have a good day. JD's leaving. He has a doctor's appointment. We're taking our health seriously. I don't know if I mentioned this on Facebook, on YouTube. I think I mentioned it on Instagram, but JD and I are completing the adoption process. I get so excited. I haven't talked about it publicly too much because it's like really personal and there's like lots of ups and downs and it's highly emotional and I ain't got time to be emotional, on live chats. But we are getting all of our ducks in a row. I already had my doctor's appointment. Thank you, sweet baby Jesus, and nice and healthy. I am in mom mode, y'all. Mom mode. In August 2019, we will officially be official. And who knows? Our lawyer said that we can be holding a baby in 3 weeks, in 3 months, or 3 years. As an entrepreneur, that makes me legitimately scared because I'm like, how am I supposed to plan for my business when I don't really know how or when we're going to get a baby? But I am trusting with all my heart that this perfect little human is out there and I'm just going to keep on saying she. We want a baby girl. I'm just going to keep on saying she. Although we are open. We are totally open, but I keep on praying it's going to be a baby girl. Okay, so let's go back to boosting posts. Do you see how we talk about babies and life and doctor's appointments and social media? Yes, that's how we do up in here. Boosting posts. I never recommend boosting a post just to give Facebook money. Because Facebook will just show your post to anybody, whether or not they're the target demographic. So Natalie Grounds, I don't know what you sell, but I would encourage you, if you're going to boost a post, to narrow that field so much So when you boost a post, you can choose what countries do you want to show it to? Do you want to show it to men or women? Do you want to show it to people in a certain age group? Do you want to show it to people in a certain demographic? I want you to select all of those things so that people are more primed to see your content who are going to be closer to your buyers. Let me know if that makes sense. Rochelle Morgan, I love not seeing likes. But with the removing likes, my engagement has gone down. Is that Instagram's way of making brands and influencers pay more for engagement? Ooh, okay. Rochelle, let's get one thing straight. You cannot buy engagement. I mean, you could buy like those fake bots and those fake likes. Like they have those third-party systems. But through Instagram, you can't buy engagement through Instagram. You can buy having your post seen more by more people, but just because your post is seen more by more people, it doesn't mean that you're going to get more engagement. That's what Instagram wants, but if the content isn't good to begin with, you're not going to get engagement simply because more people are seeing it. So when we get along those lines, we have to understand that our content, and to be fair, to totally be fair, Natalie, Rochelle, is that the algorithm changed really around the same time as the likes started disappearing from people in Australia, Canada, and New Zealand. So I'm sitting here saying, hey, we here in the States have all seen our engagement drop and we could still see our likes. So I'm guessing that these two are very closely related and you might be assuming that they're closely tied. And I'm saying, hey, we can still see our likes and we've seen a drop of engagement. It could be just something across the board, but we're not going to know quite yet, probably for another week and a half or 2 weeks until we see the way that this is really played out. Cindy Bryant, I'm trying to focus on creating the ability to partner with brands. Can you elaborate more on what brands focus on to hiring influencers? What's the most important thing to get hired as an influencer? Ooh, Cindy, I could talk for days about the Instagram influencer game. Number one, it is the Wild West. Brands know that they have all the power when I think it should be the opposite. Influencers have all the power and brands should be paying a premium for influencers to be talking about their product. Period, the end. But what happens is that brands are so smart. So let's say me, Cindy, and 8 other people, let's say brand X says, we want Instagram influencers to talk about our product X. So they DM Cindy, they DM me, and they DM 8 other people, so 10 people. And they say, how much would it cost for you to talk about brand X? And let's say me, Cindy, and everybody else, let's say we all have 1,000 followers, 10,000 followers. Well, Cindy could say, oh, I'm going to charge $1,000 to talk about X. And then I could say, I charge $10,000 to talk about X. And then somebody else could say, I charge $1 for talking about X. The main difficulty with influencers is that influencers have the ability to overvalue and undervalue. So it's like the Wild West. So now brands will just continue to reach out to people and say, who will talk about our product in the cheapest way possible? Which then puts Instagram influencers against each other. Then it becomes a bidding war and all the influencers are cheating themselves. If you want to be considered by an influencer, have a press kit ready. Talk about your demographic, talk about your engagement, talk about who you serve, talk about the people who follow you, talk about the people who most engage with you. That's number one, get your press kit ready. If you don't know what a press kit is, go to Google, say, how do I create a press kit for Instagram? Lots of stuff there. Number two, I always believe that in order to charge a premium, you have to first show how much content, how much product you can move before they pay you. For example, let's just say I really want to work with company X, but they have not come to me to hire me. Well, I know as an influencer, I can get paid. Now, I should note that I am not an influencer. I do not take money to talk about product on Instagram. I get hit up around 20 times a day, not an exaggeration, for me to promote something on Instagram. And the answer is no for me right now. I'm trying to build my own brand and social curator, and I don't need to be talking about other businesses. Why? Because I think that my voice as a business owner, my voice as somebody who uses Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and Twitter, it's more valuable than what people are willing to pay. And that's okay, to each their own. So I just wanted to say that. So let's just say company X comes to me and wants me, and I want, let's say I want to be an influencer for company X. I go to them and I say, hey, here are my rates. They're going to come back to me and maybe say, it's okay, we'll get back to you. If I decided to create an Instagram post for company X for free, just to prove to them the type of content that I can push, just to prove to them the type of product or services that they can push as a result, they're going to say, this girl has a lot of engagement, she has a lot of trust, and people started buying her product because we were already featured on her channel. Then it becomes a different game. When they know how much you push, they will pay more for it because they don't want to take a risk. All these brands know that influencers totally inflate their numbers. And so these brands are like, we want the cheapest possible person to be promoting our product for the maximum amount of profits. How can you get fair and adequate representation? You come back with a measurement and say, hey, business X, I talked about your product X, and look at all the things that had happened as a result. If you would like to do a collaboration in the future, here's my press kit, here are my prices. I look forward to seeing and hearing from you soon. Drop the mic. That's how you do in Instagram world. That's how you do in YouTube world. That is how you do in Facebook land, right? Like what we're trying to do is offer our value, position us as an authority, give a little bit of a taste to see what you can do, and then you get businesses to agree and co-sign with who you are and what you do. Every week, I show up on Facebook. I show up on Instagram. I show up on YouTube and Twitter to create content that I hope you find valuable. No pitches, no sales, you, me, conversation, business building, dream chasing. Let's have a conversation. Leave a comment. I'd love to connect with you. And to never miss these lives, be sure to subscribe because I would love to continue to connect with you on an ongoing basis. I will see y'all next week. Bye, friends.